Welcome back to episode 9 of the Derek Smith Spiel, and today I am here with Hannah Hibbard.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. You were in the school play this year.
Yes.
For Footloose. Who was your character?
I was Rusty. She's like the bubbly little fun character in the play. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
You did a great job
Thank
as your
you.
character.
Thank you very much.
When you were on stage, you had this just a confidence. You had this confidence, and your voice boomed. You could hear everything you said. You just brought the it factor. How do you go about doing that?
I've just always been a very, I would say, generally loud person and outgoing, and just the cast made it really easy this year. Also, everyone was very close, and we always got along pretty well, which I think helped a lot. So that was definitely a big part of it.
So the chemistry was a big part.
Yes, definitely.
And you always had a natural confidence. You do. You're a great dancer, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I try at homecoming. I don't know if you've seen me, but I move, but it doesn't look very, very good. How did you learn to dance?
I actually have just always, I don't know, I've been a cheerleader for like 7 years, and I honestly don't know. I wish I could say I took some crazy dance classes or something, but I never did. I guess it just kind of came to me. I don't know.
You have recreated a lot of TikTok dances. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Probably. I've been a huge TikToker like my entire life, I'd say. Probably from 2018 until present day. So.
Did you do the Renegade?
Oh, of course I did. I did it all. I wanted to be Charlie D'Amelio.
Do you want to promote your TikTok channel on here? Give it a little sales pitch or no?
I actually don't know my username, but we don't really use the interview account anymore. But yeah, just look up Hannah Hibbard, and I'm sure I'll come up. So
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm somewhere out there.
Is always felt.
Yes, exactly.
So we went over your confidence on stage. How about your singing?
Singing, I've just always something else I've always loved to do. It was never really forced. It's just fun for me. I love music. I just love listening to different artists and like feeling the music and the lyrics especially. So singing, and Mrs. Raymond helped a lot with that too, like getting everyone's parts and all the harmonies together. So that was a big part of it too.
Was it difficult to stay in sync, like with when you were singing with multiple people?
Definitely towards the beginning it was, just because it was all very new to us. But we were practicing for hours every single day. So I think we all just kind of figured out our own groove and had like just an instinct of when everything was happening. So
yeah, it was great I did not see the process, all the behind the scenes, but to come to the play and watch it, you could tell you guys put a lot of work in.
Yes,
and
definitely.
It was a great play. I thought it turned out great.
Thank you so much. I did too. It was very fun.
Is it easy for you to remember your lines?
Honestly, no. For me, that was probably one of the hardest parts. I was still trying to remember my lines like a week before the show, which definitely is not what you should do. But you just you have certain cues like, oh, when this person says this, I know I have to start this line. It takes a little bit to figure out for me, but it all just comes naturally.
So, well, obviously, because there was no telling that you did not know your lines. Did you ever ad-lib a little bit? Maybe not say it word for word or...
Definitely during the school shows I did. And if I did during the actual shows, I completely blacked out and don't remember. But it's very possible.
So you just went out there and owned it. You were like, I know the general idea. I'm going for it.
Yeah, I know the point I gotta make. I would just twirl my hair with my hands if I forgot something, because that's what my character did a lot. So
do you so that was your tell? Did everyone know, like, oh, Hannah might not know her line when you twirled your hair, or you just...
Oh, I would just kind of, like, laugh awkwardly and rock back and forth if I forgot, and then they'd usually give me my line during practice if I was confused.
So you mentioned cheerleading earlier. You guys had a very impressive season in competitive cheer during the fall and winter. Go into that a little bit.
this was my first year doing fall cheer, and it was also our first year doing game day cheerleading, which was a huge switch for everyone. It was a lot more cheering itself and like being loud and using motions than I'd say like the stunts and tumbling, which for our school in particular worked great. And our coaches spent hours every single day figuring out what we needed to do to get the best score. And if it weren't for them, I don't think we would have. But we were all very excited going into it. And I definitely think that's what helped with our success. And again, just the chemistry with all the cheerleaders.
You mentioned game day cheering. Is that like cheering for a basketball game?
So game days during the fall. So it's not at the game specifically, but for the actual competitions, you had what did they call it? Like a band or a marching band dance,
Yeah.
which was a song you picked, and then you did your dance to it. And then you had a cheer where the judges would yell out, like, oh, they need to make a stop, or oh, they need to run the ball. So then you had to pick which cheer you were going to call. And then there was another cheer you had to call after that, and then another dance you had. So it was just it took a lot out of all of us, I think, all the yelling, and you never stopped. You were never waiting for the next thing. You were just cheering throughout, which was a lot, but it was a lot of fun too. And I'm almost sad this was my last year because of how fun that was. But it was really cool, a lot different, but also very fun.
Was it different cheering as a senior, knowing like, was it almost like a countdown, the countdown set in that this was your last year?
It was in the fall. I definitely almost took it for granted because I was like, oh, I still have another season. And cheer is a really long sport. I did it from August to February, but it flew by so quick. And as much as I was happy almost that it was ending, or thankful for the experience it gave me, I wish I could do it all over again.
You mentioned the chemistry between the cheer team. Is there a special chemistry there compared to anything else you've done, just because you guys are supposed to always be in sync, like with the music and your cheer routines? Does that bring a special chemistry?
I definitely say it does. And we're all very close, like physically and emotionally. We're, again, together every weekend for cheer competitions, for games, for practices. And then our groups for stunting, we're all super close together. So we're all smushed in one area. So we all just kind of have a flow for things. And yeah, we've all been cheering since like 7th grade.
So you were able to like watch everyone almost grow up through the whole your whole cheer career.
Yes, definitely. A lot of the seniors have been doing it since 7th grade, which was like very cool to see us all kind of grow up together, which was fun.
Yeah, that's a special thing. So I don't know if there's like positions in cheer. Are there?
Yeah, so there's typically like the people that tumble, which I could never do. I wish I could do that. So like all the flips and things like that. And then there's the stunt groups, which are the bases, and they hold them up in the air. The back spot, which is who holds like the girl's legs and makes sure she stays up. And then the flyer, who's doing all the stuff in the air. Mm-hmm. And then occasionally there's a front spot who just kind of makes sure everything stays up and is good.
What did you do?
I did fronting and I did some flying, which I've been a flyer since 7th grade. It's always been fun, and the vibes are just everyone's always getting along, and it was never like a competition, I'd say, for who was the best.
Yeah.
Which was good in a way because we've had that in the past, and that makes the season a lot harder.
Definitely.
But it was really nice this year.
That's being a flyer. That's putting a lot of trust in whoever's throwing you up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to the point where you weren't nervous? You practiced it so much, or was there always a nerves being airborne?
At the beginning of every single season, I was definitely nervous, And that's just I don't know why. It just always happened. And I knew I could trust the girls. It was just, I guess, a personal thing, I think. But I always knew that if I did fall or something happened, they would be there to catch me, which was very reassuring and nice to have.
Yeah. What do you think the most difficult thing about cheer is?
Honestly, probably getting along with everyone, because it can be hard when you're all together all the time and
Well, you
everyone.
said from August to February.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
it is a really long time, and we all just kind of can get fed up with each other. It's natural, just like siblings, I'd say. And everyone has their opinions, and the most important thing was just making sure we voice those opinions and staying close and not letting it affect our routine and our performance.
So in all of this, you failed to mention the fact that you made it to states in the fall.
Yes,
brag a little bit while you can.
So the fall was our first time winning leagues and winning sectionals and going to states in all of Letchworth's history, which was amazing. It was a really awesome experience. I really hope that the girls and potentially guys can go back again, because it was so much fun. And it was just, even though we didn't necessarily come out on top at states, we ended up placing 5th, I believe, which was still really good for our first time.
That is very impressive.
The whole experience in itself was so fun, like staying at a hotel with all the girls and just hanging out and having fun, like a big sleepover. Was really awesome.
How many days was the event?
We left on a Saturday, I believe, and it was on a Sunday. And then we got home a little late at night on Sunday, so 2 days.
I bet the overnight trip made it a lot more fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. And like hanging out in the hotel room with the girls was great. Watching movies, getting food. It was awesome.
Was the bus ride, how long was the bus ride?
I want to say 3 hours. It was in Binghamton, so a pretty far drive, but nothing crazy where we were all getting annoyed with each other on the bus, which was nice.
Yeah. So did it stay pretty loud on the bus, or was everyone in and out?
We had the music going. We were all taking naps at one point, but then we'd all get up and we'd be all excited and hyped up. So. Yeah.
What kind of music does the team like listening to?
Oh, all genres, all artists. We love Fergalicious is our main song. We also, honestly, everything. We listen to Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Drake sometimes. It really just depends on the vibe of the bus.
Yeah. And Mrs. Mistretta, she got Coach of the Year.
Yes.
You said, that's one of the things you said earlier, that the coaching was amazing. What do you think took you guys to the state level this year? I
honestly think that while our team was obviously a huge part of it, if they didn't do all of the research into the game day cheerleading aspect, we would not have been as successful. And so I think that our coach was definitely very deserving of that award, and I'm so thankful for her and Miss Graham for helping us the entire season. It was awesome.
Yeah, it sounded like an amazing last year.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
And you mentioned Taylor Swift. Is Taylor Swift your favorite musical artist?
100%.
Did you listen to her new album?
I did listen to her new album. It's phenomenal.
Phenomenal?
Yes. A lot of people are on the fence about it. I think it's lyrically some of the best songs she's written, which is hard because it's hard for me to pick a favorite. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, you can ask anyone that knows me. That's all I've played for the last 2.5 weeks in the car. The only thing. So
you can't pick a favorite Taylor Swift song?
I definitely could not.
What are some of the top tier songs then?
Oh, top tier songs. Like on the new album or just in general?
Just in general. Because I've only listened to like 3 songs on the new album. Are you pulling up Spotify right now?
Yeah, I'll have to pull up my playlist.
Oh, your playlist.
Yeah. This is a really hard question.
Is that just a Taylor Swift playlist?
Oh, yeah. Just Taylor Swift. I'd say Cowboy Like Me. I've been loving her Evermore album recently. 'Tis the Damn Season. It's really good. Begin Again from Red is really good. Um, Ours is just a classic, really cute from Speak Now. Honestly, I tolerate it forever and always. They're all so good. It's hard to pick. Like, even a top 10 would be impossible for me to do.
Do you have Wildest Dreams on there?
Oh, of course I do. I love
that
1989.
song.
Yes.
I think that's her best album. I'm like a casual compared to you, but I love.
Even for me, I can't pick a favorite album. It just comes in waves. Like the season, how I'm feeling, what's happening in life. That all depends.
And you went to a Taylor Swift concert.
I did.
Was that entertaining?
It was. I haven't been to many concerts, but it was what I'd assume to be the best I'll ever go to. It was amazing. Everything about it. She's just a great performer. Like, not only are her songs impressive, but so is her dancing ability and everything, and just how she presents herself is also really impressive.
Did you didn't get to meet her?
I did not get to meet her. No.
What would you have done to be able to meet Taylor Swift?
I don't think there's
nothing's off the table.
Yeah, there's like a very short list of things I wouldn't do. We'll just say that.
Seeing her in person, was that any different than in pictures? Like, was there kind of like a wow factor in person or anything?
Yeah, I cried. I cried when she first came out on stage, which is a little embarrassing to admit, but at the end of the day, like, she's just how she presents herself. She always has a smile on her face. She's always just doing everything for her fans, which I give her a lot of credit for, because I know sometimes, especially in her light, it's hard to stay positive, but she always manages it, and it's amazing.
And did she sound just as good live as in like her recordings?
Yes, 100%. And I think that's a huge misconception about her, is that she's not talented or things like that, which it's fine if you have that opinion. But for me personally, I think she was amazing, and she did better than most artists today could do.
Yeah. My mom, she like won't listen to any music past 2006, but I enjoy Taylor Swift and Dua Lipa, Kanye, newer. I enjoy some newer songs, and she just won't let me play it. It's ridiculous. I want to get a vinyl, a 1989 vinyl, because I have a record player, but she wouldn't let me play it. I'd have to play it when she's not home.
I got one. I got one of the new ones from her Taylor's version. I got a 1989 one. That it's just great, and I don't even really use the record player. They just kind of sit in my room.
Yeah,
but it's just nice to have.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to mention while you're on air?
I don't think so, but thank you so much for having me on. This was awesome.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And anyone listening, thank Mr. Rycroft. We used his room as a recording studio today, so give him a special thanks. And of course, give Hannah a thank you. She brought the energy as always.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Derek Smith Spiel. If you like what you heard, follow me on Spotify by searching The Derek Smith Spiel, clicking the follow button, and hit the bell to be notified for future episodes. You could also follow me on Instagram at DerekSmithStock13. I'll have posts for my newest episodes as well as posts of baseball and football cards. If you're ever interested in purchasing a card or checking out my collection, you can check out my Collects account at Derek Smith Stock. If you ever get bored and find yourself on YouTube, check out Dylan Smith's Outdoors to see Dylan Smith's adventures in the woods, as well as cooking videos. Last but not least, if you need your lawn or house sprayed, call Greenwood Ecologics at 585-739-1610. Now, one last time, thank you for listening. I'll catch you later.